Have you ever caught her looking at you, and then suddenly she looks away like nothing happened? That moment feels small, almost dismissible. But what if that tiny shift is actually hiding something much deeper? Because attraction, real, emotional, almost uncontrollable attraction, rarely shows up in obvious ways. It hides, it leaks through behavior,
Through microsignals.
through things people don't even realize they're doing. And here's the problem. Most people completely miss these signals. They assume if she likes me, she'll just say it. But psychology tells a very different story. Attraction often lives in subtlety, especially when it's mixed with uncertainty, fear, or emotional tension. And that's exactly what we're uncovering today. Welcome to Psycho Library, where we decode the hidden patterns of human behavior. Let's get into it. Sign 1, she creates accidental proximity. Here's something interesting. People don't just randomly end up near the same person over and over again. It feels accidental, but psychologically it rarely is. If she consistently finds ways to be around you, same group, same space, same timing, it's not coincidence. It's something called proximity-seeking behavior. Studies in behavioral psychology show that humans naturally gravitate toward people they feel emotionally drawn to. But when that attraction isn't openly expressed, it comes out in indirect ways. Like sitting closer than necessary, showing up where you are, even when she doesn't need to, lingering longer in conversations that should have ended. Now here's where it gets deeper. She might not even realize she's doing it, because this isn't always a conscious move. It's instinctive. Her brain is basically saying, stay close to this person. Something about them matters. But there's also a hidden tension here. If she secretly craves you, but isn't sure how you feel, she won't make it obvious. So instead of direct approach, she chooses controlled closeness. Close enough to feel your presence, not close enough to risk rejection. And that's the subtle line you need to watch. But here's the real question. If she wants to be close, why does she sometimes act distant right after? That's where things get even more interesting. Sign 2, she pulls away right after moments of connection. This is one of the most confusing signals, and also one of the strongest. One moment she's engaged, present, almost emotionally open, and then suddenly, she withdraws. Replies get shorter, energy shifts, eye contact drops. It feels like a contradiction, but psychologically it's not. It's something known as approach avoidance conflict. Here's how it works. When someone strongly desires something, but also fears the consequences, they move toward it, and then away from it. So if she feels a strong pull toward you, but also thinks, what if I get hurt? What if he doesn't feel the same? What if this changes everything? Her behavior becomes inconsistent, not because she's playing games, but because her emotions are pulling in opposite directions. This creates a push-pull dynamic. She opens up, then shuts down. She gets closer, then creates distance. She shows interest, then acts neutral. And here's what most people get wrong. They interpret the pull away as disinterest. But in many cases, it's actually the opposite. It's emotional overload. She felt too much in that moment, so she steps back to regain control. Now think about this. People don't pull away from what they feel nothing for. They pull away from what feels too intense to handle. But if that intensity is real, it won't stay hidden for long. Because eventually it starts leaking into the smallest behaviors, and the next sign reveals exactly how. Sign 3, she remembers details you don't even remember saying. There's a simple psychological truth. We remember what matters to us. So when she brings up something you said days or even weeks ago, something small, almost insignificant, that's not random. That's selective attention at work. Her brain is prioritizing information about you, and here's why that matters. When someone is emotionally invested, they don't just listen to respond, they listen to store. For example, you casually mention your favorite movie, she brings it up later. You talk about a stressful day, she checks on you afterward. You share a random preference, she remembers it. This isn't politeness, it's emotional imprinting. And it happens when someone is subconsciously trying to build a deeper connection. Because remembering details does one powerful thing. It creates a feeling of being seen. And when she makes you feel seen, it's often because she's already seeing you in a deeper way. But here's where it gets even more revealing. Sometimes she doesn't just remember you. She starts mirroring you. Sign 4, she subtly mirrors your behavior. This is one of the strongest unconscious attraction signals. It's called mirroring. And it happens when someone starts copying your tone of voice, body language, speech patterns. even your energy level, but they don't do it on purpose. It's automatic, because when we feel connected to someone, our brain tries to create alignment. Think about it. If you lean forward, she leans forward. If you slow your speech, she matches your pace. If you joke a certain way, she starts adopting that humor. This isn't imitation, it's synchronization. And synchronization creates emotional bonding. Psychologically, it signals, I'm comfortable with you. I'm tuned into you. But here's the deeper layer most people miss. Mirroring doesn't happen when someone is indifferent. It happens when they're emotionally engaged and subconsciously invested. So if you notice this pattern, you're not just being observed, you're being absorbed into her behavioral rhythm. And once that happens, the attraction usually goes beyond surface level. But there's still one final sign, the one that ties everything together, and it's the most subtle of them all. Sign 5, her energy changes specifically around you. This is the hardest one to fake and the easiest to overlook. Watch her behavior in general, then watch her behavior around you. If there's a noticeable shift, that's where the truth is. Maybe she becomes more playful, more nervous, more talkative, or suddenly quieter. The key isn't how she changes. The key is that she does change, because emotional attraction alters baseline behavior. Her brain is reacting to your presence differently than it does to others, and that creates subtle inconsistencies. She might laugh more at your jokes, even the average ones. She might get slightly anxious or self-conscious. She might try harder to maintain conversations, or even simpler, her attention sharpens. You can feel it. Now here's the psychological insight behind this. When someone secretly craves you, your presence activates emotional stakes. And when stakes are high, behavior shifts. Because now it's not just interaction, it's meaningful interaction. And that meaning changes everything. So even if she never says it directly, her energy will always. Now here's the reality most people ignore. Attraction isn't always loud. It doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it hides in patterns, in contradictions, in moments that feel small but aren't. And if you've been noticing these signs, then there's a strong chance something deeper is already there. The question is, are you paying enough attention to see it? If you found yourself connecting the dots while watching this, make sure you don't ignore that instinct. Because awareness is what separates confusion from clarity, and clarity changes how you move. If this video helped you see something you didn't notice before, drop a comment below. Which sign surprised you the most? And if you want more psychology-based insights that actually mean something, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what most people overlook. Because here we don't just talk about behavior, we decode it. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.